one.
Good morning. This is Judy from Artistic Artifacts. We are in Alexandria, Virginia, and we hope that everybody had a nice Thanksgiving. Peaceful if that's your choice, full of family if not, and then there's always awesome friends. So we appreciate you joining us today. We had an amazing Black Friday yesterday. We have currently are running an end of bolt. So if you finish the bolt, you get 40% off of that fabric. We also have some pre-cuts, AA Artistic Artifacts cuts that we coordinate with and create bundles of ourselves. I don't know what that beeping was. Anyway, sorry, squirrel. So there's definitely sales going on. We also have a rather large, previously loved Bernina machine sale. And our floor models, although the floor models are on sale all the time, we are focusing on featuring those. So we started with about 36 machines. We had a big day. Lots of machines were sold, but I can assure you there's still lots of options today. So if you have time, please come visit us. We will show you a sewing machine if you need. Tomorrow we'll be here too. I'll be here, so whatever is set up is set up. So again, unofficially we've added that last day on, and the end of bolt also will go through Sunday. So okay, so that's currently what's going on. We have an opportunity to have a Zoom meeting with Annie of By Annie. It's going to be next Friday from 1 to 3. You can send us an RSVP and ask to have the Zoom link sent to you. Or if you're close enough and can get to the store, you can come join us for a watch party. So we will be doing that on Friday. Let's have some door prizes, have some cider and cookies, a little sugar pick-me-up in the afternoon, and a great opportunity to have Annie with us. What are you doing? I don't know that hand signal.
No wine.
No wine, no.
Drink, yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I have a problem with the wine. I worry about liability. Like we're going to buy enough wine to have that be a problem. But anyway, I digress. So we have cider, Kyle.
Fine.
Anyway, now I've totally lost my whole train of thought here. So that is next Friday. That's a great opportunity. I'm sorry that we haven't given you more notice on that. It's just been very busy, and Annie has been awesome with keeping up with us. So that is this on Friday. Let me back up. Earlier in the week is going to be Tuesday, which is Giving Tuesday. So there's going to be lots of opportunities for us as a community to make a difference to these areas that need help with funding their purpose, I guess, is really what it is. We do focus on the Food for Others, which is the food bank that is for the Washington metropolitan area. And I've been contacted by an anonymous donor who has agreed to match all the contributions for the stocking fundraiser on Tuesday. So the stocking fundraiser, we have stockings that have been handmade by our staff. Can you show them the stocking style?
Sorry. Lagged.
So they are all listed on the website. And the filling for the stocking, because of course stockings are just containers to stuff with goodies, you can choose a mixed media one or a sewing one. So there's no preview of what is in the stocking. It is just going to, once we make the drawing and award the stockings, which will happen on December 13th, we will let you make that choice, sewing or mixed media. So what this means is each $10, can you get these back here?
Yeah. Let me just
go ahead.
Hopefully I don't give anyone vertigo by moving.
Yeah, there's some really awesome stockings. And Sharon's got them all ID'd and some information about how they were made and what they mean, all within the website, who in the staff created them. So it's really quite exciting and an opportunity to meet some of the staff just by seeing what their artwork is. So online or in the store, you can pick a stocking to make a $10 donation, and for each $10, your name goes in the bucket for the stocking drawing one time. Okay, so did that make sense to everybody? The donation, 100% of the donation that you're making for the stocking is going to Food for Others. So hopefully that made sense. It's been in the newsletter. Hopefully you're on our newsletter list, and that will give you a little bit more information. But December 13th, we will do Facebook Live and draw the winners for specific stockings, and we will do that live. All right. Any questions? So for Giving Tuesday, for every $10 that you donate to our fundraiser, we have an anonymous donor that is going to match that. So very, very appreciative of that person and everything that she does for the community, because it's quite a lot. All right. We're working on the schedules for classes and things for next year. Stay tuned. We still have one class left this year that is taught by Dudley, and it is a sewing quilt class with hats. It's your little, winter hats, so it'll take you through the snow that we might be getting this year in Alexandria, which is unusual. I know there's a large part of the country that is buried in snow right now, and I hope everybody's staying warm. So that is the class that we have, and then we're working on wonderful, surprising things for you next year, and we'll be announcing those soon. So what we've done also this year is we will try to set up some free make and takes for those of you who could come to the store. We had people of all ages, including kids as young as 7 to adults that would not tell me their age. So they're just, didn't matter. So one of the things that we had was a garland. And this is the garland that kind of inspired it. So I think I made this a while ago, probably found by things. This ribbon was very cool. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to find that. And you have this trim, and these are vintage stockings. So they look like they were die cut. I'm sure I inherited them from somebody. And then my husband found these great felt balls that just totally added to it. So now I have this garland. And the make and take was, or is, taking stockings, and I added little bells this time. So I have a little top of the stocking, and I just hand stitched that. You can see the back. And I stitched that on, and then I stitched the bell on to do a little one. So everybody got 3 stockings. And then the other thing that we did, which was wildly successful, is we found some felted sweaters. Yes, we have bags of them here, bags. And we die cut them, and we made all of these little stockings. And everybody really liked the sweaters. I went for the vintage quilted pieces, which were, little scraps of things that had ripped and torn. But these were the ones that everybody loved. So if you don't have a die cutter, you can make a shape of a stocking. There's, it's all okay. And you can see my original one only had this in there. But these that kind of adds a little bit to it. So then I found some green pom-poms. And the idea is, and you can work small. So for the make and take, we worked with 1 yard of ribbon, Christmas ribbon. It can be anything. The wired ribbon, the gold ribbon. We just took out a bunch of holiday ribbon. And everybody then sewed their stocking to a little bit of rickrack or another ribbon. It's, you know, we're not complicated here. And you would take your needle and thread, stitch this on here, and stitch this to your ribbon. And it was just all done by hand. It doesn't, so this takes very, very little knowledge of a sewing machine. If any, hand stitching is, you know, up and down and up and down. Very, very easy. So we had a great group. There's some pictures on Facebook, I'm sure, of everybody doing that. And then you have a little garland to hang. And the trick here is I end up taking like the pom-poms. This is a little more than a yard. And then if I want to tie it to something, I'm going to take a little bit of ribbon here and I'm going to extend it so that I can tie it to any place in the house that I want to do. Okay? So that's a very, very easy, fun thing to do with a group of people around the table. Find some felted sweaters, and we even had some die cuts just out of fabric, which people chose to do that as well. So we had just pieces of orphan blocks that were there, so that worked as well. Any questions? No? Everybody ready to go do their garland? This is really easy. Just go with what you have. I'm sure all of us have some things in the house, and they're very, very easy to do. I'm actually kind of addicted, because if you're going to do one, you might as well do 10. I think it's very easy. And it's wonderful to do as a group of people, as I said. You know, sometimes it's getting people off their phones. All of us, it's not an age thing, it's everybody, and being able to sit at a table and just make something good. So, of course, one thing leads to another, because of course we can't just do one. So I decided, and this is the make and take for next week. So I'm going to give you guys a highlight. So I took wood blocks, because of course wood blocks are my favorite, and I took some white wool. So these wood blocks are here, and I printed them on the wool with paint. I'm good with paint. I'm okay with that. And this is another wood block set that was designed for hand stitching. So I love to do the stuffed birds, so we'll have some stuffed birds. So the pluses and minuses of the paint is the paint stays on. So here is, you can show them here. So here was the piece I started with. This was one where I didn't try to cover the paint, and I used a size 3 pearl. That is a good thing, but make sure your needle is big enough for a size 3 pearl. This one, I used a size 8 pearl, and I did that and stitched it, and I tried to cover the blue paint, and then I cut a piece here, and as you can see, I have a wonky circle, and I buttonholed it around here and stuffed it with cotton balls. Cotton balls are kind of more dense than puffy stuff, but you can use that too. I just had a bunch of cotton balls that were used.
Why do they look like sugar cookies?
They do look like sugar cookies. It's just this kind of the printing.
Where's Barbara with her Christmas cookies?
Yes, yes, we're waiting Barbara with her Christmas cookies. We have a, yes. Yeah. So if you don't like that idea of printing on the with the paint, we have this great product from Wonderful. It's called Rinse Away, and it is printable. So I was able to take my wood block printing that I did on a piece of paper and copy it onto this product. And it's very, very cool. It's nice. It can be used for lots of things. And we will have this at the make and take. So what happens with this is I printed it on the transfer side, and the paper side is just to help it get through the printer. All right, it's called Rinse Away. So say I want to oh, let's take this nice blue stocking. I want to make it. So I lay it on there. It stays. It's okay. And then I am going to stitch a couple stitches. I love this wonderful pearl. It's awesome. Glasses might help. And I'm just gonna try to thread this needle on live Facebook Live, which is, you know, challenging and is not gonna work for me. Come on. All right. Remember, don't ever make your thread too long. You don't want it more than 18 inches. And now I'm going to sew right up through this. And it's going to show it's stitches. It's not goopy, very easy to sew through. And I am using a size 3 pearl. I can come down here. I can follow the pattern. I can go off the pattern, but it gives you some guidance. So I can do all of the hand stitching here and have this little snowflake on mine, and then you gently wash it out so it goes away. You can hand draw your pictures of these. You can use this with, if you want to do some thread painting on a machine and you need to follow your patterns or give yourself some idea of swath of color and things. This is a great product. And what's really, really nice is that it's not very sticky. It's stuck to this very easily, but it doesn't leave that solvy, really intense plastic feel when you wash it out. And it won't clog your sink when you wash it in your sink like I did with Solvy once. I hope Dave's not watching. I don't think I ever told him I clogged the sink that time. But anyway, the side. So that's our make and take for next week, and you guys have a head start. Then while I was going through all of this, I found a couple of things that we have featured before that I still had. So this was printing a vintage image with EQ printables, and we added some trim to it, and it's just on muslin backing. I cut a slit in the back. So what happened was I stitched this whole thing all the way around, 2 pieces of fabric together, the printed side and the backing. Then you slit it here and you stuff it again with cotton balls, and you put a little bit of Misty Fuse on here and cover it. So these also have some, I used some soft gel and glue around here and used little balls. This is some vintage, vintage something. We've done this before. There's, you might have old postcards or old tags that some ephemera, some holiday ephemera. So that's a really easy one to do as well. And then this one I found where I obviously cut more stars than I finished. So I have a whole stack of stars, and I used, this is wool, but I used some of this interior design fabrics for the back. This one has buttons, a button on it, and this one has a bunch of pearl buttons on them. And again, something like this, I actually am hanging in my studio all the time. All of these, they're not holiday sensitive. They might be holiday inviting or getting us going, but I leave all of these things out most of the time. Any questions on how I've done any of these quick holiday get-togethers or the gifts that you can make? Any questions? No?
Not yet.
Okay. Anybody there?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Joan says hi. Andy says hi. I think I saw Helen on here.
Yeah, okay.
Susan Weinholtz.
Yep. Hi, Susan.
Debbie King.
Debbie. All right. So just as long as somebody's there and I'm not talking to myself. The other thing that I did this year that I'll show you, and I have to say I got sucked into Pinterest. I try to stay away from there, but I did do these Christmas trees, and Barb, who works here, said, oh yeah, I've done lots of those. So these are a foam center, and they have garland that's wrapped around the foam. And then I took Christmas balls, and I used some old ones, and I will have to tell you, and then at the bottom, these are like cheap dollar store ones to get the base going. So after a while, I found out that a glue gun is a fabulous tool. They now have extra hot settings on them. And then if you go up the tree, so you punch a hole with a pair of scissors and then put the top of the ball, which has got this little piece here, in first, that makes it a lot easier. At first, I was not puncturing the foam, and I broke a couple of ornaments like right in my hands. So there's this one, and then I did a little one over on the other side. So we've been wildly, of course, trying to find vintage holiday balls, which is not the time to do it, but we did find enough to get 2 Christmas trees done, and I have 2 more that I thought would be fun. So the other thing that we've suggested, if you are shopping or need to drop a hint to someone else that, once you want them to come, we do have Artistic Artifacts gift certificates, but we also have created little gifts here in these gift boxes that we have some extra gift boxes, so we can make a little gift box for someone to pick a special present out for you as well. That is here. We have had some customers send us wish lists. We don't have a really good system for that yet, but we certainly can set you up if that's what we need to do. And we want you to always remember that we have Artistic Artifacts merch, which makes a great present. We have mugs and aprons and zip bags and stickers. So there's lots and lots of ideas for the creative that might want something as a unique gift, whether it's materials to make some more or materials to make the gift for them. So we have today a busy day. We're going to leave you with our stocking fundraiser so you can see our stockings. If you have the ability to help us and donate $10 to the stockings, we greatly appreciate that. And if not, and you're in the area, maybe you might look at donating something to your local food bank. And that is an opportunity that hopefully all of us will take. So thank you very much for joining us. I hope that you have a creative day and look forward to seeing you again.